Hello, everybody. My name is Puppetine from the Geeky Puppet Show here on the Puppet Show today. For what? For Resident Alien. And of course, my froggy little co-host, Froggy.
Hi.
That's you.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting
Hi.
for you to stop. You're very, very glitchy on my end.
Oh, well, I'm not getting that interference here. I don't know. Maybe the electronic waves are messing up on your side. I don't know. But as for Resident Alien, we're on episode 12, I believe. And this is, well, one with a major revelation. And there's a lot to go over, but as we have said before, we've been enjoying this series. But I think that perhaps, though there is some humor in this, we're getting one of the most serious moments in the show's history. What do you say, Froggy?
I gotta say, they decided to basically jump the shark.
Oh, how to explain? There's a lot of baby searching in this
I'm my old
episode.
grandpa. That's how I explain it.
Yeah. I mean, Max does get to save the world with his butt, but with Harry, he is kind of feeling bad because Asta pretty much tells him, you're getting more and more human by the day. If you think about it, the longer you stay here, just like Goliath, the more human you're going to get. And so, Harry is trying to fight that, but he realizes soon as he tries to just shift back to alien self that it's a lot easier now living in the cabin as a human and all that than as his own kind.
Yes, because he realizes that, yeah. And he says, like, he strips all his clothes off, reverts to his alien form, walks up in the mountains and there's snow. Then he realizes, like, there's no food up here. Damn it. Perhaps it's easier to live back in the cabin with the food. I can live by his alien self there. So he tries to be his alien form, walks in, hits his head on the beam, goes to take a shower, and he hits a duck down because the shower is too short for him. He hits his head on the shower head. Then he takes the curtain rod down. He even tries to drink some milk, and he crushes the glass in his hand. I gotta
He's
say
too
though,
big a boy.
That alien costume they have with the show when he's in his alien form, you could tell it's kind of leather.
Well, here he does have to go back to human. Why? Because he still needs to find the alien baby. He still needs to know about these aliens. So he goes ahead and he plots to kidnap Sahar, because Sahar is basically the baby's mama. Max has a little
Yeah, she's not basically the baby's mom. What is it? She interfered. The baby basically because was living with her and Max for a couple days in the trailer, and she was so I felt a slight bond to it because because she was there. Now and
she's mama.
Yeah, she's like 12.
I understand that. I didn't say she gave birth to the baby.
I'm just saying, calling a 12-year-old calling her mama. What she is a nuisance and infuriating.
That she is that. Because she does get in the way. She's the reason why the baby ran away.
She doesn't, and the whole thing with the town's going to be celebrating Halloween. That's the other thing that's going on. So Max is dressing up for Halloween costumes, stuff like that. Max is dressed up as Frankenstein, which is really cool because you could tell he got professional makeup help from the studio because no other kid would have the design of the bolts in the neck like that. That takes a lot of crafting, creativity. And we both know his parents aren't that crafty. They wear the same costume every year. Sonny and Cher.
She looks good in that costume, though.
Holy cleavage.
But yes.
The other thing that's going on right now, and this is the main problem I have with this episode, is the fact that, well, Asta, Darcy, and a few others are against the whole town getting a new ski lodge up there. She's like, oh, it's just gonna drive people out of their businesses. The big store's gonna come in. Bullshit. And I hate this thing because that's not true. And right now the town needs revenue. So, and it actually would help out the town, have repair roads, all that stuff. Yeah, because they live in, Timbuktu, And
Yeah, but it's an irritating storyline, I admit.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, he started throwing that. As far as the girls, yes, this is the second time we've had the girls do a little girls' night, or a thing like that. And then I'm like, this kind of derails from the city. It's like, from the whole the subplot. It's kind of like, oh, we're getting filler now,
and every time it was about Ben. You ever notice that?
Yeah, Ben's always being disparaged or degraded. I mean, you kind of feel bad for the mayor. They even turned his wife against him. His wife was basically like, supporting the stuff because, and then they're like, well, look, we on this bridge, when we were younger, we carved our initials in here. It was our and someone's lost their virginity here and stuff. And so they bring her down there during Halloween, and they have her carve her own initials. Like, here, you could do that. Something like, wow, that is just. I don't think this would ever actually happen in a small town. This is make-believe part here.
Yeah, it's definitely a frustrating part of the episode. But I prefer to focus on the other things.
Well, Darcy, also, she hurt her knee because she's been training. Her knee is all bruised. She comes to Harry, and Harry is just like, yeah, your knee's messed up and you're going to die soon. But don't worry, not too soon. And she's like, what can you do? He's like, well, you can stop training. Obviously, because your knee is compensating for your torn whatever it was, ligament. But then he starts feeling sorry for her because she starts crying. He starts crying. He's like, that's when his human emotions get the best of him. He's like, holy crap, I feel bad about another human being other than Asta. That's when he decided he needed to stop. That's what led to him basically saying, screw this, I'm not going to be human. Because he used to hate humans, but now he's starting to feel sympathy for other humans. So okay, well, that's going on with everything with the mayor and all this stuff. Liv, the deputy, tries to get Big Black to ask the other detective from Jessup out, but he decides to give her the cold shoulder. Why? Because it's revealed that he's thinking about going back to DC.
Yeah.
We did skip over a big thing though. Why? There is the case is closed as far as the murder and all that stuff. They found out that actually there was a river that's been contaminated by a mining dump, a pond, retaining pond, which would be leaking, and they assume that the company Harry found out about, or not Harry, but about the Sam Huntington, I think his name was, or whatever his name was, but
something like that.
Yeah. The doctor, the original town doctor, found about, and they said that's why he was murdered. To silence him. And they're partially true. I mean, Harry did kill him. The original Harry, not the alien Harry. But yeah. So that was brought up at the meeting too. And Darcy, I'm just sorry, Darcy is becoming such an annoying character. She's very rude to Ben during the town meeting. She's like, I have a question. She wouldn't. I mean, if Big Black, what he should have done is escorted her out of the area. Just said, like, you know what? If you're going to disrupt everybody else is being perfectly nice and quiet and being polite. You're being rude. And I'm just tired of people being, allowed to, for that behavior. You need these consequences. I'm sorry, because I see her doing that, and I'm supposed to feel bad for her hurting her knee. I mean, she deserves it. Yes, and quit falling asleep.
What?
You keep leaning forward.
Yes, I am. But no, I want to go ahead and talk about, now that we've gone through Darcy, we can go ahead and effectively talk about the situation
with Darcy.
Max.
Oh,
with Max, because Max does find the baby, as it were. finds the baby at school.
And the lunch lady, yes.
Yeah, the lunch lady. That's why he saves the world with his butt, because they essentially have to get the whatever food they gave him, because there might be a tracker and get it out of them.
Yeah, well, mention how they got the tracker, but Linda Hamilton was the cook there, and she gave him food. Here, eat your carrots. He doesn't want to eat carrots.
Yep.
He felt sick at the RV, so Sahara basically tells him, "Hey, wait, what do you mean you don't feel good? You know, it's too bad for food poisoning." She's like, "Oh, that lunch lady, she had a military watch on," and he's like, "Well, you need a quick poop and out a tracking device." He's like, "I only go pooping only after like my mom's cooking or something else." He's like, certain times. She's like, "Well, we need to speed up." Then he's like, and she holds out his pill out of the first stage. He's like, "I'm not swallowing that. It's too big." She's like, "No." And it goes like, "Oh no, I'm not sticking on my butthole." She's like, "But no, you know, you could save the world." He's like, "I could save the world with my butt."
Yep. And so he does. But after that, he finds the baby at school as Frankenstein, takes him home, and tries to get in touch with Sahar. But at that point, Sahar and Harry have basically kidnapped each other, I suppose you could say.
But along the way,
and
eating pizza.
Yeah, they have to get pizza. But they're going to the RV to try to find the baby.
Yes, but there's crackling in the truck and everything like that. It's breaking up. But before this, though, it turns out that the guy who basically was working with Linda Hamilton, the scientist, the researcher, had hacked the school cameras, found the Frankenstein kid talking to another kid, and he did a facial search on the baby. Turning out it's the missing boy that went missing in the mine when it's supposed to be dead. That's how they identified the baby. Harry and Sahara finally show up in the woods at the RV, only for they're too late because the baby was being called tricked. Thinking it's Sahara's voice saying, "Baby, come inside." Turns out it was a recording, manipulation. He was locked in there with armed guards, and then they sky lifted it out with helicopters, and they were they got the last minute. They watched it go up in the helicopters, and she started crying, and Harry's like, "If I were Goliath, I'd put my hand on her shoulder and say something, comforting." Just like this. He's like, there.
Yeah. Because essentially the baby's taken away, but that's when there is a big reveal later in the episode. Because Asta goes to Harry and notices that there's a package for him there. And he says how aliens don't concern themselves with things like mail. But it is from Goliath's, his wife, I suppose you could call her,
Yes.
his lover, his human counterpart, as the French would say. And it's a book of Goliath's work. And, well, the thing is, there is a specific scene they notice. One with Harry and Asta standing alone after dealing with, I believe, her ex. And, well, nobody else was there. So how could they know? That's when it's revealed, because we saw old man Harry at the beginning of this saying how 60 years ago he remembered the people so well, remembered them all, but he couldn't leave his shell anymore.
So he was there, but then he eventually he shed himself as humanity of his human form, and it was basically a destroyed world. He found a portal basically where would be the landlines back in the energy source, and he used that portal, and he goes back 33 years back into
from the present.
Yes, from the future. No, it's the future. Harry from 60 years in the future goes back 33 years in the past, which would be just before he basically, it's revealed that he takes on the form of the miner. Where basically Goliath, it was revealed that the Goliath originally took on the form of a Brazilian worker that had died, hit his head on a rock. Asta says, "There's no way he could know about this unless you're Goliath."
Yeah. I mean, Harry spends a lot more time on Earth than that because he's there for about 500 years when he finds that energy source and he's able to go through it. And then he's taken 33 years
It's
from the present.
yeah, it's 60 years, and then it goes 400 years. You know, and yeah, and then it says 33 years. You know, in the past,
Yep.
the present. Yeah,
And so it time travel.
time travel is a slippery slope, my friend. You
Yep.
do not want to mess with it.
No. So this could be disastrous, honestly. But it is a shocking twist. I did not expect this. I will be honest.
I don't think it'll be disastrous. If anything, it's a cool new direction because basically Goliath in the books was a different alien, and he just kind of died because he basically let himself die because he accidentally killed someone. So his race, being a peaceful entity, let himself, wither away, and he finally died. And there was no alien baby egg.
Yeah. But I mean, how is this going to work? Because Harry now has to go to the future to go to the past, but he's sending himself a message to stop himself from going into the future. It's a very slippery slope.
I don't think he's going in the future. I think what it is that he got the message. The message was I think the first time around he did not know that there was an alien race coming to basically attack them. So now I think now he has the knowledge because of Goliath. Remember?
Because of himself. Yeah.
Yes.
Talk about giving yourself a hand.
So basically create a bootstrap theory.
Yes. He needs himself to stop the aliens. But we're going to have to wait and see. We have 4 more episodes remaining this season, and you know what? It's a really good show. If you're not watching it, you should be. The
comedy, the wholesomeness,
mm-hmm.
and just, it's Alan Tudyk. If you're not a fan of Alan Tudyk, you probably won't like the show, but Alan Tudyk is a wonderful actor. There's even cameos in the season with Nathan Fillion doing the voice of an octopus. It's a wonderful cast.
Yep.
Not all the episodes are great. Like I said, tonight's show was kind of like I give it a 4 out of 5, maybe because everybody's teaming up against Ben, the mayor.
Poor Ben.
Yes, he finally gets respect from his wife, only for her to betray him.
Because of women. Yes,
women are the reason why other women are bad. They corrupt.
Oh no, we don't mean that. Anyway, that's the end of our show. We want to hear your thoughts, though. If you've seen the show, let us know how you feel. If you haven't, why not? Tell us. Also, like and subscribe helps the channel. Check out the Ko-Fi if you can. And, well, other than that, Froggy and I want to thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. And bye! That was a pathetic wave.
You are pathetic.